rolling through turn 14 now at legendary, iconic Indianapolis. He will be the car that gets this field rolling today. The prototype cars go first. The GT cars will go next. Looking to the flag stand now, Jack Aitken, Louis Delatraz to his outside in the silver 40 Cadillac. They are green. Hammer down. Time to go at Indy. Hammer down, time to go at Indy.
Yeah, Pegel breaking the line there a little bit in the middle of the pack there. I think there's a 52 car. He could be in trouble for that, for breaking station there. You've got to stay in your columns there. Jack Aitken leads the Cadillacs down into turn 1, but Louis Delatraz is putting the heat on him, the silver machine, trying to get his Cadillac to the front. And one of the actors made a big move there early. That's Nick Yellerly in the red and white number 93 machine.
To the inside now of Delatraz. He takes over second. Down through the chicane of 6 and 7. They're the GT cars on the right. They get the green flag. On pole, Dan Harper for BMW. Christopher Mees in the Mustang to the right of the screen. The Corvette takes a look, but Harper will prevail.
Oh, further back, they are 5 wide as GTD cars try to cram in, and one of the Corvettes gets stumbled there in turn 2. Now the Corvettes run nose to tail in GTD Pro. Gotta protect, especially the front end of your race car in these opening moments. Even though they're GTs, they are very aerodynamic dependent.
Yeah, that was Alex Sims, the championship leader. Look at these drivers jostling around here. There's that Lamborghini Huracan, the red, white, and green machine, making moves early.
Lamborghini trying to hold place there with the second of the BMWs.
Romain Grosjean behind the wheel, ex-IndyCar star, chasing after those BMWs that finished 1-2 last year.
Cal, you talk about drivers that don't have anything to lose in this championship hunt. It is Grosjean as he pops out on the front straightaway.
GT cars now coming through the back part of the race course. 14 turns, almost 2.5 miles here as that Corvette gets off course. A little dicey there, Cal, for the yellow Corvettes to start.
That's the second of the Corvettes. So both Corvettes having drama here on the opening lap. We talk about Sims stumbling there through the turn 1-2 chicane. And it was the 4 car having issues there with Tommy Milner behind the wheel.
Milner gets it righted side by side there for a moment. The pink and black Mercedes, that's the Windward Racing Championship leading Mercedes.
They have the biggest championship lead across all 4 classes. It sits at 171 points coming in this weekend. Not inconceivable that they could clinch, but conversely, they could also lose the championship lead today with a bad performance.
Second of the Mustangs popping out there. That was Rockenfeller looking to make a move. Look at the nice lead right now for Jack Aitken, stretching it out over that second place Acura of Yellerly.
We talk about teams, drivers looking to really utilize this as a springboard, maybe even to next season, gain some momentum. We see full course yellow.
What are the chances that's Romain Grosjean's mirror on the front straightaway? I see green. There's a few cars with green in the paint scheme, including the GTD number 77 GTD Pro car of AO Racing.
Green was lucky here last year in both GT classes. They were green Porsches that went to victory lane.
It's a Ferrari, the Cetilar number 47. I believe the right side mirror is indeed missing there.
LaCortez brought the car to victory to pit lane. The team to take a look at. Cal, it's not a requirement that he runs with it, right?
Got to have one on the car, but let's see how that happens here.
That was the front straightaway. It's the Aston Martin behind him.
Oh, it's the Aston. But guys, when we looked at that Cetilar Ferrari, it was missing a right side mirror too on pit lane. So there might be 2 mirrors missing here. See on the right-hand side, that stock?
There's one on.
Elbows have certainly been out. We talk about the argy-bargy and tidying things up here with the penalties are becoming fast and furious over the last couple of weekends. So since those incidents that we showcased happened at Road America, and all these drivers are just trying to get into the flow and rhythm of what calls will be made.
Anthony McIntosh in the 19 car, he's missing a mirror. So the driver's side, Townsend on that one is gone from the Aston.
Yeah. And that's, listen, this is a problem. A lot of these cars will have onboard rear view TVs as well, but let's take a closer look at turn 1. They are 4 wide. There's the 47 smashed in the middle of the number 78 Forte Lamborghini, the Lexus. I think that's Frankie Montecavo, 4 wide on the outside. In fact, Montecavo, the biggest mover in GTD, moving up 3 spots.
There was the first stoppage of a Corvette there. That was the Porsche coming through.
Yeah, Rexy, the green machine, seems to have be a magnet with those yellow Corvettes this year. Typically the 4 car, not the 3.
Here comes the penalties, Dave.
False start lining up the wrong side. That's for this 023 car coming through now.
And look at the dejection on board. Under green flag. This is one of the longest pit lanes in the sport. 52 seconds lining up in the wrong column here. And just so incredibly painful to start off a 6-hour race this way for TRC. Oh, George Kurtz in the 04. The CrowdStrike car, that's over in turn 3, I believe. Can't get it in gear, Cal.
Always high side.
Oh, yeah, right
I don't
rear.
think he's going anywhere.
Full course
Cars
caution.
are so low to the ground, and when you get the wheel spin, it just digs it even deeper into the gravel. It's purposely there to arrest the speed, but if you're trying to get out, not a good scenario.
LMP2, one of our favorite categories, because the bronze driver, the driver who doesn't do this full-time, are the ones who get to start the race and qualify the car.
Caution is out. See how it develops here. It's George Kurtz trying to make a move on Naveen Rao. Oh, that was all on George. He just overcharged that corner there and got into the side of Naveen, so maybe a little frustration prior to that.
If they touched, it was barely. I wonder if they actually made contact here. It was pretty close. Let's watch.
Yeah, there was a touch. George was involved in Dan Goldberg going around on the opening lap at the Road America.
Be interested to see what Romain Grosjean does in that Lamborghini. That team's best finish, 7th this year. He's in 6th right now as a big jump onto the front straightaway.
Ricky Taylor's on the gas once again. Green at Indianapolis, bringing the Michelins up to temp as he heads toward turn 1. And now a challenge. Campbell getting challenged by Aiken to the right. Can the Cadillac do it? No, he's got to give way.
Swings back around, tries to do the crossover, but there's no real where to go with that through turn 2. So Campbell, our championship leader, did a nice job there, but Ricky Taylor, how well did he time that jump there through turn 14? Massively. Then he did the Indy dragging down the front straightaway. That's not to block, that's basically just to try and clean up those tires. They'll get a lot of pickup under caution.
3 red cars in a row, Porsche, Cadillac, Acura, and now Romain Grosjean making a move on Sheldon Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn has a problem.
He does, he is slowed.
Looks like that's a reorder pit exit command from race control. The 25 has to drop behind the 40.
But look at this,
now
NASA.
the Porsche gets him.
Jump at the opportunity.
Yeah, you got to pick the right spot on the racetrack, and NASA kind of gets his elbows out a little bit. Van der Linde off and in the grass and drops to the tail end of this GTP field.
And a lot of moisture overnight, so it wouldn't surprise me if that grass is still a little bit wet.
Should just stay on the tail end of their lead lap.
I promise you, he's thinking, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We didn't even touch.
Again,
about the last round at Road America as Nick Tandy, who got a penalty in the 7 car for RG Bargy with Ricky Taylor. So he's made the move. He pounces on Sheldon Van der Linde. But right here, he had to give another lane there on the outside of the BMW. That's what race control is saying on the exit of the corners. You got to give the guys racing room.
I mean, but he had the corner. He had the position. The BMW's deciding to try to stay there and force the issue. Listen, you guys know I call IndyCar most of the season. It is so different, and there's a lot of drivers that grew up open wheel racing. I get it, they're making an adjustment, but if I'm Felipe Nasser, I am gobsmacked right now.
Battle for the lead continues at Indianapolis. The 6 hours TireRack.com battle on the bricks is heating up at the front. Ricky Taylor in the blue car trying to hold off Jack Aiken. Looks like this is going to be the pass here.
Just huge momentum by Aiken coming through that final corner on the super speedway. Ricky Taylor couldn't afford to move late. He'll get a call on that, so he's keeping it clean. It's also a fellow Cadillac driver, so he doesn't want to get his elbows out too early in this race. So Aiken has certainly looked pretty feisty. His car's carving the corners really nicely. Got a lot of energy in that car right now. As you can see, the dynamic of the car seems to be really working for him at this early phase of the race. Oh, that was tight. How close was that by Philippe Albuquerque? Oh, I tell you what, the 6 car, that's a bit of a block. Race control would not like that. If we go back to what we've seen in races yesterday with the support races and other races, that was definitely a bit reactive there. The 6 car is Yamane. And you're just instilled to drive that way. It's so hard to change on the fly halfway through a season. That is an instinctive reaction that a driver's going to do when they're vulnerable and they see that fast car coming up behind them. You're going to jink around a little bit. But race controller said 0 tolerances. That will be a call they have to make.
And as a viewer, Calvin, you say to yourself, yeah, he could move over and block. But no, the rules now say they're going to call it.
So watch this. He's right there. Albuquerque goes there, and watch that move there. That feint back to the left. I don't think race control are going to like that.
A move in reaction. Isn't that how they phrase it?
Yeah, you got to be proactive. If you're already going there to take over that left-hand lane down Holman Boulevard, that's okay. But if the 10 car's already indicated he wants to go with this, a little bit like that moment we showed from Road America where Ricky Taylor in the 10 car was trying to make a move on Nick Tandy in the 7 Porsche going up the hill towards turn 6 at Road America.
Let's see what happened to Yoluk in the 36 car. He thankfully is out and okay. The car is not because of this.
There you go, that's what I thought. It's going on to the speedway. Just gets wide there, up in the grass, right on board with the 40 car. You can see up ahead, that was a close moment there for Jordan Taylor.
Watch him get over the exit that, yeah, missed it.
And luckily he didn't ricochet back out a bit more violently into the path of the following prototype machine.
Okay, back to business now for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Frederick Vesti gets the red 31 up to temp, up to speed. Kaku Ota behind him in the Acura. They're being chased by the blue car of Colin Brown.
Look at these cars weaving around here, just trying to get these tires cleaned off. It'll add a little bit of temperature, but it's mainly just getting those marbles off the tires, the little shreds of rubber that you pick up running around at low speed on this race circuit. Everyone doing a tidy job. They're tight there between the 23 Heart of Racing Aston Martin Valkyrie. And he squeezes ahead there of Wittmann. That's Ross Gunn, the Brit behind the wheel currently.
And the headlights blazing now. It's the middle of the afternoon in Indy. We talked about the overcast conditions and the potential for rain. It looks a little bit darkish out there right now.
It does. Vesti getting to grips with that pole winning Cadillac, but Ota, don't discount him. Drafted in here. He's also done some endurance races with Aero Motorsports on the LMP2 side just to get a little bit more prototype experience, and got drafted in here. He will not be doing Petit Le Mans. He's got a racing commitment over in Japan that weekend, and the jury's still out on whether they'll fill that slot. Certainly Alex Pallou's name has been mentioned, but yet to be confirmed.
Spike, is that for the lead? Yes, over Rasmus Lind. And now here comes the 11 car. Hunter McElray trying to come through as well. He'll do it.
Johnny Edgar now behind the wheel of Spike the Dragon, did a really nice move there. Oh, that's tight 52 car getting pushed really wide there. That's Logan Sargent. Welcome to IMSA Racing as the ex-Formula One star now makes his debut here. First time behind the wheel in race conditions.
That's right, did a test here with the team, wanted to make sure he was up to speed as he could be. But now in anger with the competitors who are here all season long, Sargent is getting a little bit of the treatment here. That is close there. The 8 of Alvarez working on, who was he trying to pass there? That was tight into one again.
It really was.
Chasing in the points. Oh, trouble for the Lone Star Mercedes.
This is a car, Bricacek behind the wheel right now, that's been very much in the mix. Had the lead early on. Looks like that wheel is going to wobble its way out of harm's way. Now it tips itself back onto the racetrack, so this is going to bring out a caution.
4th full course caution of the afternoon. Left rear gone.
Were in 5th position, led early. Dennis behind the wheel. Now you can feel it. You can see the wheel nut come adrift right there. Just try to look. We've been out on the racetrack quite some time, so normally if it's finger trouble with the wheel nut not being fully committed to the stub axle, that happens a lot earlier in the run, but it wasn't quite snug up. As you brake and accelerate, it'll gradually loosen up that torque wheel nut. You hear it, just lost drive immediately as soon as it releases off the pins on the upright.
The way that car sits, is that automatic damage to the hub, or is that something that, well, there it is.
Yeah, it probably hit the deck. He didn't run around with it like that, so it might be okay if they can get the car towed back to pit lane and throw a new wheel at it. He could be okay.
Back under green at the Brickyard, warming up those Michelin tires. No tire warmers. They are the hardest compound that Michelin gives to the GTP cars, and they want to make sure they grip when they go to turn 1. A little wiggle there from Ota.
These have been long yellow periods as the 7 Porsche Penske side by side there with the number 10 Cadillac. And you got to think that that tighter governance factors into some of the driving style right now, as now the teammates from Porsche Penske, the 6 and 7 of Nazar and Jaminet going at it.
Good scrap through the chicane, back onto the Hulman straight, still warming those tires.
Here's a question as I see the Penske cars going at it, Dave. If you do your teammate dirty, is that a penalty? Or is that self-governed by the team as side by side Nazar goes off, and he'll be on the radio immediately saying, hey, that was a penalty for me an hour ago.
It's 57 laps led now for the Porsche, most in any class all day long, but it is not for long. If Vervish has a say about it, does not have the good line, but he does here, a little bit of contact.
Little bit, but he left him room to the outside. Smart move from the driver of the 77. He'll have the advantage in turn 4.
Porsche, Mustang, BMW, Ferrari, Corvette, all right there together.
Boy, it's looking so polite these days, isn't it? No bodywork scuffs.
Is that what you want, Townsend?
Not necessarily.
Okay, you like a little scuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Here comes Freddie again. This time to the outside, coming to turn 7, hard on the brakes. And if you're Backler, you're taking the line, well, which line are you taking? The line you want or the line you think your competitor wants, because you can't react.
This guy's been studying his tape, but certainly would have experienced the governance at VIR and all GT race there.
Took the inside line there, keeping he's at bay.
Oh, I thought there was going to be a touch right there. Now, I think Hess is going to have a really good shot in that BMW in 3rd down the front stretch, but no, a pretty good gap starts to open up. Let's see what happened.
Oh, wow. Yep, just went around. Talked about the Michelin hard compound is on the race cars this weekend.
Guess there was some contact as, oh boy.
Yep.
And you know what? The right side mirror of that Ferrari is going to be toast from that contact. And now on board with the spin. Let's listen. Oh, just loses it on the brakes on the cold tires there. And boy, Dave, that really illustrates how tricky these things are on cold tires, even under warm tires. But I would have really encouraged DeAngelis there to leave a lot more room to the tire-swerving Ferrari.
Under green with Frederick Veshti leading for Whelen Engineering and Cadillac. He's being chased by Nick Tandy now, who goes to hold his position. Kaku Ota now trying to make it on the outside to the right with the Acura. Can he do it coming down here? He'll have the outside line going in. Now he's got the preferred line. Can he make it stick?
So dicey here on cold tires with GTP. It's Tandy to the inside of turn 4, but he has to leave room. Will he leave room? He does. Ota gets the position.
Chu here for the number 10 car. I think he's got a left front down potentially. Not sure if that's coming from contact or a little piece of debris on the racetrack, but Philippe Albuquerque suddenly went spearing off the racetrack. You see that left front corner rubbing against the deck, so he's got to be careful how much speed he hustles back to pit lane. Fortunately for him, he's relatively close to the pit lane. See if there's a bump. I think it's already gone down. When he went to the brake pedal, he didn't have any corner weight in that left corner as he made the turn.
Ryan Till, Calvin Fish with you, and yeah, for the 10, I think you're right, Calvin. He goes to the brakes right there, and that left front has already given up on board the 25.
Yeah, it's a great visual of it right there as we ride on board with the 25 car. Marco Wittmann trying to carve his way back to the front. BMW's currently run in 5th and 6th position. You can see how close he was with basically no braking control there. Yeah, and this is the high the hard compound tire, Brian, because we've got a high-energy racetrack here at Indianapolis. Here we see a massive battle with the Lamborghini and the Aston Martin with the 40 car right alongside him with Jordan Taylor. Mortara defending here.
Oh, contact, I think it was a Mustang. I saw that car coming in the brake zone, and indeed it was. It was the 65 into the 40.
Bavish from second in class. He was in a battle with Verhagen. I think Jordan Taylor was just trying to let the other two prototypes figure things out, and suddenly that gap narrowed, and Bavish gets into Taylor. Let's watch this develop here.
This is wild. Anti-lock brakes on the GTD type machinery, both Pro and GTD, and he just doesn't get it slowed down in time.
It's really strange though, the gap that Jordan gave to those other two prototypes. I thought he's just gonna like tuck in behind the tail, and Jordan didn't go anywhere, and I completely caught Bavish out. Okay, look, Jordan just really waiting. He may think there's gonna be contact, so he's being super conservative to try and get a run on them. And Bavish was already committed to the corner, and he got damage to his left front as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. The left front tire is up, but you've got to wonder if there's not some damage. Perhaps the left rear to me looks askew.
Left rear, he's lost the toe link. You can see him struggling. Car's crabbing, trying to get back to pit lanes. He lifts off the gas, it'll kind of squirm back the other way.
James Calato aboard the bright red Triarzi number 023 Ferrari does not have a side hustle. He is a Ferrari factory driver, and you get an idea of the speed differential between GTP, the prototype, flashing by the Ferrari.
Big one there for the 7 car. That's Nick Tandy, the Brit behind the wheel, coming off a couple of troublesome races. Coming into this weekend, has lost the championship lead. Here he comes up on a BMW prototype, gets down to the inside. This argy-bargy down there in turn 1 has a spin.
Wow, as we came on air, that's what was happening, and you could see Tandy, he looked like he lost the steering wheel in there while he was trying to save the car.
It's hard into that brake zone, and problems here for one of the Penske Porsches. He just had contact through the final turn.
That is the number 7.
Tandy again in the wars. Can you believe the run he's on?
No, it's not a positive one at all, that's for sure. What happens to Nick Tandy?
Take a look here. This is turn 12 in that tight left-hander 13. Oh, he just gets in the side of our GTD leader.
Just forcing it. Just forcing it, and this almost certainly will be another penalty. Massive contact to the right front of the Porsche, and as slow as Nick Tandy was driving down the front straightaway, you have to think there's suspension damage.
Well, you would think, but let me ask you a question about what we're seeing here. I mean, for a long time, we've had the officials say just because you're driving a faster class car, like a prototype, does not give you carte blanche. But has this new penalty look, I should say, has it taken some of the onus off the GTD drivers? Or are they just not paying as much attention as they would be in the past? You were a GTD competitor.
Not in that corner. That's one of the slowest corners on the track. A GTP car is really not any faster in minimum speed. That is not a corner where aerodynamics are going to benefit a GTP. So that's just a case of Nick Tandy, once again, Cal, forcing the issue where he really needs to be going the opposite direction and making much higher percentage decisions there. So costly as he comes to pit lane for the penalty that has just been issued for car number 7. It goes from bad to worse for the car that's second in the championship.
They just got back into their routine.
Leaders in. Kevin.
So these GTP cars can go about an hour, give or take 3 or 4 minutes under green flag conditions. It had been about an hour 7 since this Cadillac had made a stop, but there was a little bit of caution. Frederick Vesti out, Earl Bamber is in. So we are still going to need to see 2 more pit stops, and this team is going to have to make a decision. It is a short stint. Is it going to be a short stint for Earl Bamber and put Jack Aiken back in, or can he go the final 2:22 for this race? Meanwhile, we're also going to see the 63 Lamborghini come in here in just a moment. Romain Grosjean, a former Formula 1 and IndyCar star who has finished second here a couple of times in IndyCar, has been in this car throughout the day, and they've had a solid stint today for the Lamborghini. They made some changes, and the car is in a much better window this weekend, more competitive than it has been, and they had one of their better races in this program here last year.
Yeah, they've just incorporated what's known as a joker. You can do some changes to the homologation on these prototypes 5 times during the full lifespan of these cars, and they just took their first one, some rear geometry changes, and it's just really transformed the car. They can use the curbs a lot better. They're better on tire degradation than they were in the past, so they elected to use that mid-season, and it's immediately showing great effects here at Indy.
60 in as well. Love to see the GTP cars leave after the pit stop. They leave on electric power and then fire that internal combustion engine. Super cool stuff. From right here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, more coming your way.
Oh, look at this, a battle for the lead here.
Oh!
And Albuquerque slices his way through there. The 31 car of Bamber struggled with that traffic.
Wow, and that is what multi-class racing is all about. You saw the speed differential between GTP and GT-based cars, and you had to hold your breath on this one regardless of who you were.
Yeah, 2 different classes here. GTD in the middle. It's going to be a sandwich into a single groove chicane, but the number 10 of Albuquerque forcefully going through. Now, he's on a different strategy. He has yet to make his stop, whereas Bamber pitted just a few laps ago, so the 10 will be coming to pit lane, but the pace of the 10 versus the number 31 of Bamber suggests to me that Bamber probably saving some gas here because he's in that no man's land, Cal. He really has to stretch it if he thinks he's going to make it on one more.
And we just had a pass for the overall lead, 31 back in front, and it was GT traffic at the wrong time.
Here comes
Albuquerque responds. I tell you what, these cars are so weight sensitive. Bamber's got a lot more fuel on board. Even though the tires are a little bit later in life on Albuquerque, the energy level of fuel level really plays into this Townsend in terms of a lighter weight car performing better.
It really does, but I almost think here that the 31 of Earl Bamber and his race team have calculated the fuel burn with 2:15 left and almost said, you know what, we've got to go more into sprint mode right now because I think the 10 is in the advantage situation. If they both have to stop 2 more times, then the 10 probably has a little bit better situation for timing to make passes happen. Speaking of passes, the 99 in LMP2, that's Dane Cameron inside the 04 Jacobson. And boy, they almost came together. They might have another chance here.
I can't believe Jacobson's leaving the door open like he is for Dane Cameron to make a move, unless he just come out of pit lane and is trying to get his tires up to temperature.
WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, TireRack.com, battle on the bricks under full course caution. You see the number 70, the Inception Racing Ferrari, missing the hood. That's why we're yellow, because it ended up on the front straightaway.
I'm not sure how it ended up on the front straightaway here, but let's take a look back as, there we see the LMP2 car across the bow. And you know what? I don't even know if there was contact or if it created a low pressure zone. Let's see. No contact. It just started to flutter. That's what happens sometimes when you go from clean air to a draft. It can create a bit of a vacuum there. And I got to tell you guys, I have raced in IMSA mid-race with a hood coming off, and my car was actually faster with no hood than with a hood. I know that sounds bizarre, but depending on the airflow of various manufacturers, it wouldn't surprise me if the 70's just fine, as now IMSA taking the time under this caution to clean the track.
A 45 from Wayne Taylor Racing. Trent Hinman behind the wheel of the Lamborghini did not make it back to the pits. We don't know if he's out of fuel and energy or if there's a mechanical issue with the car, but he didn't get back in.
No, he didn't. He was right at the pit entry there as the GTP cars were on pit lane. It just opened up for the GT cars. Kevy, what's going on with the 45?
The report from the team at Wayne Taylor Racing is he blew a diff. He's lost drives, lost power, and they are stranded. It is day done. And they were running third, an opportunity from starting last to at least get a podium and maybe more. Danny Formal was set to get back in and relieve Trent Hinman to finish it off.
Aitken into the restart zone, that bright red Whelen Engineering Cadillac. He is on it early, and what a jump he got over Sheldon Vanderlinde aboard the number 25 BMW GTP car. But Aitken, what a run.
Watch Campbell on Grosjean there. The Porsche Penske pops out of the French driver and ducks back in.
No, that's the 7 car. They're trying to come from a lap down here. This is Nazari Stato didn't top up because he needed to stay close to the front end of this pack. He's got to pass these cars to get back on the lead lap. He's got any chance in this race and for the championship.
I wonder if Grosjean knows that's a lap car because he's defending awfully hard. He has to be careful there that race control doesn't catch that. Good call, Cal, on the lap car of Nazar. Campbell is behind Van der Zande, 3 back of Grosjean.
I think Grosjean may have gotten that radio call because right there as they started to come to the chicane, you know how hard-nosed driver Romain Grosjean is. Typically, I think he would have gone through there side by side, but he backed off and let that happen.
These could be the most important laps of the championship season for Felipe Nasr, despite all these wins he had early in the year. He's got to somehow get back in the game here today.
Penalty, pit lane speed violation for the championship leader, the number 57 in GTD.
Yeah, and the race leader right now. That is massive for them having what would be a day that will seal the championship for them. There's a big field here of GTD cars. It's going to plummet them down the order.
Cal, the points as they run right now has the 57 car 303 points to the good, but not after this drive-through penalty. It is going to be a massive shift. They could have locked up the championship today, and we'll watch the points as they run right now change dramatically for this long, painful 52-second drive down pit lane. They will go all the way to the back and look at the points change in real time.
Grosjean back on the attack, trying to go around the outside there of Felipe Nasr. Down in the turn one, brakes on, a little bit of argy-bargy. Elbows are out. Nazar's not wanting to give it up.
What are you doing, Grosjean? This guy's a lap down. Let him go. You're on pace for your best finish of the season. The Lamborghini's had a best of 7 so far. Just lay out and let Nazar go. Grosjean finally backing off.
I think the problem is
Nazar doesn't have the pace. Yeah, Grosjean has pace, and he says this race is winding down. I don't think Grosjean is built to finish 4th.
So true.
Look at this through turn 1. This is how it all played out. I'll tell you what, though, it's good, hard, respectful racing. A little bump there, but
this is okay. This is what you got to let go. We can't just clean up to a point where it's just neutered.
Penalty on the 65. Really more insult than injury because of the problems they had, but not packing up during the yellow, a drive-through penalty there.
Oh my goodness.
If you run afoul of the rules today, you're coming for that long drive down pit road.
Absolutely.
Felipe Nasr still trying to work his way to the front to unlap himself. Romain Grosjean, his buddy, is just up ahead.
Tell you what, for Felipe Nasr, he's got to be thinking, how does this championship get away from me? There we see, maybe they did get together once again. Grosjean cut through the grass, on board here with the 7. I think that's Grosjean to his right-hand side, and
oh boy,
Felipe just kind of missed his break point.
And I say, oh boy, because the way things have been called today, for the 7, what have they had? 2 penalties already?
What a disaster for that team since Detroit. Here's that multi-class racing as they head down into the brake zone for turn 12.
Blomqvist got checked up a little bit.
All over the curb. Look for an opportunity on his ex-teammate. Had to use the curb there to get through. Curb your enthusiasm, one of the keys to victory here today. Take a look and see how this one evolved. Late braking move down into turn 1 on the 48 car. 48 is wide. Heinrich's going to run around the cushion here, Townsend, it looks like.
Leaves him just enough room, and now the inside line is to Heinrich as they head into turn 3.
And what you're seeing there on full display is the newly revised governance in terms of how wheel-to-wheel racing is called. The 48 of Hesse leaving plenty of room for Heinrich to dive in there. Heinrich, frankly, taking full advantage of that new rule situation and just forcing his way through and making Hesse lift there.
Back past the Corvette. Battle here, but a lot of grass in the grill for the number 77 of Heinrich as he was off while battling with the Mustang.
Yeah, he doesn't want that green. It's a green Porsche, but he doesn't need that green in the radiator, and he doesn't need to be dropping down the order, and he doesn't need the championship leader to now be moving ahead. But he did he get a nudge there from the 4 car? Let's not forget, these 2 cars seem like magnets this year. Think back to Detroit where they went in a little ballet dance through the end of the hairpin there in turn 3. Here's where Seprio makes the move. He's alongside Lauren here. Lauren doesn't want to give up. He's in the dusty part of the racetrack. I think you got to let that one go, Townsend. What's your thought?
I think so. He had room to back off. It wasn't like he was forced off track there, but gave up a huge amount of track position. That's the 81 up ahead that makes the move, and then here comes the 3.
Yeah, the 81, though, cut the track there at the chicane, so I don't know what the officials say about that. And then this.
Watch the 4 car.
This looked like
He gave him a little bump. I think he gave him a little rub.
absolutely he did.
Katzberg and Heinrich, they just always get together.
On a day that has been full of penalties for aggressive driving.
Wingman for the 3 Cars Championship charge. Look at this battle. 6 car with a 93.
Oh, brave stuff.
That was brave stuff in contact with the wall on the outside.
There is so much dirt and debris to the high side. If you clip the grass, you get into the marbles. And for the 93 of Van der Zande, is the car damaged? You have to think so.
Yeah, Mueller's made a move there in the 85 JDC Miller Motorsports, the yellow Porsche there, right in shot, just there.
And Renger Van der Zande asked the team, do I need to box? And they told him to hold on for a moment. He was out there trying to feel it out. He is asking them again, do I need to box? They're looking at the video, looking at the replays, and also looking at some of the telemetry coming from the car. Meanwhile, the 4 is on pit lane. They have just told him that he needs to box.
Well, he needs to box. He's got a penalty for incident responsibility with the 77. Nick Galilee, Otar looks on the 93 squad as to what this car is doing.
Now, this is where Van der Zande gets really, really fortunate when he does get up high and wide. Look at what he misses when he gets back on to the speedway and gets into the fence. Look to his left. Right there. That arm code that's there, that gate in the fence, slapping up against the concrete is nice and flat. Slapping up against the arm code might have been different.
The rest are using all of the road, trying to keep Hanley at bay. Cameron's one position further back.
And this answers the question of, is Hanley going to play wingman and defend? No, he's going to sit there and take the fight, try to get by. He's the meat in the sandwich. What?
The rest is around. Championship contention. Car right there. He's around.
Question answered, Brian. It was every United Autosport guy for himself as the 34 now. Daniel Serra is backwards over in turn 12.
Up front in GTD and now stationary on the side of the road. Back underway is Serra aboard the Conquest Racing Ferrari. What is going on?
Boy, race control's going to have their hands full with this review.
This all happened with Dillman not getting a good run there through turn 11. That kind of stacked everyone out, and both United cars had a huge run. Watch here. He gets stacked up a little bit with the Aston Martin, and they just got a head of steam coming at him. The 2 car didn't know what to do with it and eventually turns his teammate.
Oh, and just as we start to take a break, more drama in LMP2. Ben Hanley off, so is the number 8 of Sebastian Bourdais, and it has gone from bad to worse.
And Hanley almost gets into DeResta again coming onto the track.
Bourdais a lap down.
Well, he just needs to stay on track, and maybe he won't be for long. The drama in LMP2. What happens here? Bourdais up on the curb and gets into Hanley.
Enthusiasm, boys.
Talk about curbing and enthusiasm.
Yeah, there it was. Kind of drops a wheel there. Hanley doesn't give him a ton of room, but when Bourdais drops that right side, it's worn out in the grass, and then boom, right back up on the racetrack. I'll tell you what.
Is Bourdais just trying to get out of the way
and
take too much curb? I don't get that.
Tom Blomqvist has done a masterful job hitting the fuel number, getting the team exactly what they need. They told him a lap ago when he asked, are we okay on fuel? The reply from the pit box, we are good to go. Go get him.
Look at Ricky Taylor on the attack. He gets inside of Blomqvist. I think what Ricky Taylor's doing, he knows he's in fuel trouble. His only hope is to get to the lead and hope for a yellow and maybe finish this race under yellow. He's not going to make it this sort of pace, I don't believe. He's on full attack mode, Tat. He's just got to get the lead of this race and hope for a yellow right at the end.
That was a forceful move from the 10.
Just amazing. And time!
Gonna hit the wall.
Boom.
Oh,
there's the yellow.
This is the guy who was told, I'm tired of you hitting race cars by his team manager.
And big benefit to Ricky Taylor and Wayne Taylor Racing there. They were counting on a yellow to make it work, and they just got one.
Yeah, but they were trying to get to the lead, and then that
ideally,
happened.
but you'll take second if you can.
For sure. And it could lock down that Cadillac win for Aiken. He's going to be in great shape here.
He's going to have to clean this up, and it's going to take a while to get it done as the 0-4. Toby Sowery behind the wall. Heavy impact. they could, in theory, grab that car and drag it backwards out of the way and get back to green as quickly as they possibly could. Will we have a dash to the checkered?
Let's take a look at what happened here. That's the 2 looking to make a move inside the number 1 BMW, and I'm not sure if Ben Hanley knew there was another car coming through there or not, but that is a heavy concrete impact. Now listen, this is Indianapolis, guys. There's no other racetrack in the world that is well prepared for a quick cleanup as this place. They do it all the time for the 500. They do it for the Brickyard. And luckily, there's no safer barrier repair needed. We already saw Toby Sowery moving in the cockpit. Hands went up to the helmet in just disgust, knowing that his race is over. But the question is, can they get things cleaned up and the field stacked up enough in time for one final restart?
Here we go. Jack Aiken on the pedal. Cadillac comes to life down the front straightaway. What have you got? You got to play your cards right now.
Aiken gets the hammer down. You see the cars doing the dragging here, trying to get those tires cleaned up before they hit the brake pedal and get it turned into turn 1. Ricky Taylor gets a little bit closer.
How hard do you push? You know the tires have lost some of their tip and pressure.
Taylor was really loose there, putting the power down through turn 2.
He was so aggressive on Bloomquist early. When he got that position, does he have that same Cadillac underneath him? Can he answer Jack Aiken? Should be 1 to go when they come to the line this time. Should be the white flag. Bloomquist looks like he's dropped back a little bit. He needs to get closer as they come on the front straightaway. Taylor not with a good run off of turn 7. Aiken looks good.
He does. Oh, his car looks to have really great mechanical grip at this late stage of the race, really carving these corners.
And Cal Ricky Taylor doing everything he can to shorten the course there through the S's, using all of the curb, maybe too much. He is trying everything. They desperately want their first win of the season, but Aiken with a beautiful gap out front. This will be the white flag.
Long front straight, he looks down and he sees the white flag. Next time by, it's the checkered. Victory in Indianapolis is just 2.4 miles away.
Tidy gaps between the top 5 right now. No one really under any threat. See if anyone can perform some magic here. We're just under 2 miles to go.
Using every inch of the racetrack. Jack Aiken focused like you would be in qualifying. Got to hit your marks. You've got to be perfect. You've got the energy to do it.
You hear it all the time in sports. Don't focus on the result, focus on the process. And for Jack Aiken, like you said, it is precision. One apex at a time. He's only got a few to go.
For the number 31 squad, problems for the 77. Looks like they may have a left rear tire cut down, but for Jack Aiken, continuing to pull away. This Cadillac Wheelan team, last win was 2023 Sebring. So it's been just that long, and now for Jack Aiken, the 30-year-old from London, England, one more corner. 14, the fast sweeper onto the front straightaway, looking for another victory. It was 2023 at Sebring for Aiken. They'll break the drought. Jack Aiken, Wheelan, they win at Indianapolis. Earl Bamber, Frederick Vesti, his first win in IMSA. What a day for Cadillac.
Mikkel Jensen brings it home for the 3rd time in a row for TDS. They go 3 straight at Indy.
Seb Prio, Ford Mustang onto the front straightaway. They'll chalk up yet another victory. They weren't sure if they had the car to do it. The answer is they do. Mustang back in victory lane. Mike Rockefeller, Seb Prio celebrate at the Brickyard. And for Frederick Shandorf, look at this, the 70, even with the problems that they had. Inception Racing, first IMSA class win, and to do it at the Speedway for Brendan Arif, Ollie Milroy, Frederick Shandorf, wow. They put troubles behind them, and they will stand on the podium at the Speedway. What a day. What a race.
We've got Earl Bamber, Frederick Vesti over here as well. Turn around and say hello to everybody. The last time your team won, you finished it off at Sebring, and you didn't think you were going to finish this one off. You had to change back into your suits.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure. I mean, we've got a great team from A to Z, and that includes my teammates, so any one of us could have finished it off. And yeah, we just thought with the length of the race and how it was going, it was better to get a fresh one in. And it was intense, so I'm glad we did.
Frederick, you've won in Indianapolis. What's the significance?
Oh, this is huge for the team and for myself. This is my first ever endurance win as well, so I'm just super proud of everyone at Cadillac and Whelen. It's been a hard year so far, but to step onto the top step of the podium is massive for us, and we're ready for more.
And Earl for Cadillac, it's been such a trying stretch to be able to win here at the racing capital of the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing weekend for Whelen Cadillac. You know, we were talking this week, we've been knocking on the door a lot. We were knocking on the door of Road America. We definitely knocked on the door of Watkins Glen, and we said soon it's going to open for us. And today it opened. I mean, Jack did an amazing job. Everyone from the team had a great pit stops. We've been the best in the lane the whole year, and now finally everything went our way. So it's awesome, and hopefully it's many more to come. We've got Patina a couple of weeks, Fuji next week, so let's go.
To 1-2 for Cadillac, and Action Express and Whelen Engineering is a winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway overall.
Take a look at the BMW unofficial race results there at the bottom of the screen. Beautiful skyline of Indianapolis, and celebrated the GTP victory. This is what GTP driver standings look like.
Yeah, it's almost in the hands of the number 6 squad. 24 cars still in with a long shot. Not over yet. Anything can happen at Petit Le Mans, particularly when you get those final 2 or 3 hours of darkness. That's when it gets a little bit crazy.
Yeah, when the sun goes down at Petit Le Mans, the crazy definitely happens. I thought the 93 might have a little better shot today, but faded a little bit there in the end. All right, GTD Pro is up next. Let's go to Matt.
It was like a day from Motown. Blue-collar work ethic by Ford Multimatic. Sebi, how concerned were you on the last restart?
For sure, it wasn't what I needed, but hey, Mike did a great job today. The team, Multimatic Ford, did it. You know, gave us a great car, and we did it. You know, and I had it I felt like I had it today, and I was relaxed. I wasn't. Oh, there's obviously pressure, but I felt really comfortable out there. So yeah, I'm just really happy with the result.
And Rocky, you've done so much in your career. You're going to add something special. You're going to go out and kiss the bricks and take Junior with you here.
100%. We said it before. You know, we said let's win the thing this weekend. It was a roller coaster race for us. You know, we had to work our way through the field, and the Ford Mustang just ran fantastic. Sebi did a great job. You know, I came, I think, from P7 to P2, and he worked his way up from P3 at the end to P1. Just like I expected. He's amazing, and I think him and I, you know, working together is just a dream.
Such a great team. Sebi and Rocky, they're going to go out and kiss the bricks. Winners at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. And here are the GTD Pro points. Garcia and Sims stay on top, but tell you what, Dragon Speed not letting them get away. Albert Costa right there.
In perspective, the point difference between first and second is 30 points. So yes. Whoever beats the other one really at Petit Le Mans can win this championship up top.
Who finishes in front of the other? And tell you what, mathematically, it's possible, I guess, that Rockefeller and Frio could be there. It would be a long shot for sure. All right, let's move to GTD now with Kristen.
After 6 second-place finishes, this team finally earning a career-first win. Frederick, take me through the emotions of those final couple laps, and does this win mean any more that you earned it for the team at such a historic and iconic track?
Yeah, this is such an incredible. I mean, the team and these guys have done a fantastic job all year. Obviously, this is our first full season with the Ferrari, and we're just really showing everyone that how good of a job we've done to develop this car. I'm just so happy that we are finally getting this win. We've been, as you say, so close so many times, and finally we're actually having it. I could live without the last safety car, but that makes it a little bit excited at least.
Ollie, how will this win personally resonate with you as a driver?
Oh, it's just, there's been such a build, too much of a build-up. You know, we've been so close, like you say, so many times. My heart rate was actually higher watching Fred on my Apple Watch than it was when I was in the car, which is just shows how emotional this win is. It really means so much, and I'm so happy for the team and for Brendan, obviously, for giving us this opportunity the last few years. He did an amazing job the first 2 hours to give us the car in one piece and give us the opportunity to attack, and we converted it.
Brendan, the American on the team, how good does it feel to get this one done in the heartland of racing?
I mean, this is a dream come true for the whole team. We've been working at it for a long time. many years now, and this is our first win. I really want to give it to the team. They just did an incredible job. The drivers, Ali and Freddie, I mean, there's not much more they could have done. It really was awesome to watch. Very excited right up until the last safety car, last 2 laps. I mean, that's what racing's all about, so it's just a ton of fun.
Guys, what an incredible race, the GTD number 70 in victory lane.
I'll tell you what, it's one of those deals that Brendan Arib has done such a great job over the years of honing his craft. One of those guys who kind of came into racing late. Great job, great victory here for Phillip Ellis, Russell Ward. Not the day they wanted, but pretty sizable lead going into Petit Le Mans.
Yeah, 224 points. Effectively just have to start down there, most likely in Atlanta, to wrap up the championship. 2 in a row it would be for Windward Racing. Simply, they have been the class of the field, frankly, week in and week out the last couple of seasons. A championship performance seemingly well-deserved.
Yeah, and I mean, what a bounce back. They had that drive-through penalty from the lead, but still get a top 5 finish. That's what they do. They just maintain their composure and continue to execute, even in the face of adversity.
And the 4th victors, they are with Kristen, LMP2 race winners.
Mikkel, what were those final laps like?
Very tense out there. You know, we did the perfect race, no mistakes. We built the gap all the time, and then it's typical IMSA, I would say. You get a yellow in the end, and just, yeah, nerve-wracking finish, but you just gotta do a good restart, keep the car clean. But it's hard with the GTPs having a hard time warming up the tires. So you're always in the back of them after the restarts, and it's not easy, to stay clear.
Steven, 3 in a row for this team, but what will make this win special for you?
Because of these guys, man. They're the best drivers in the world, and it's a pleasure for me to get to drive with them.
Thanks so much. And Hunter McElroy, a huge day here at Indianapolis, a place where you said feels like you're home away from home. What were the emotions watching your teammates in those final laps?
I knew McLaren under control. I mean, I was nervous. The last yellow, I was like, of course we're leading by 20 seconds and we have to have a yellow. But no, it feels amazing. I mean, for all of us, I was in Indy next and then 2 here. So 3 in a row for all of us at Indy the last 3 years is incredible. Obviously, I couldn't be happier with these 2. This guy was amazing all weekend, and obviously Mika was good as usual. But yeah, we needed this win, and I just quickly want to dedicate this one to Noni, a really special lady we lost this morning. So yeah, this one's for her.
Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations. What a special day of racing here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Tell you what, to go 3 in a row is pretty impressive indeed, especially the last 2 races being the 6 hours, those endurance races. Anything can and will happen. Here's a look at the points. It went back and forth all day long, but look at it now, 85 points. At one point in time, it was like 130-something, and now just 85.
Yeah, certainly tightened up a little bit. Not quite as cozy for Hyatt and Cameron to go to Petit Le Mans, as we say. It's a crazy race. I look forward to it so much every year, Townsend. It never disappoints because it just gets mental there in the last
Absolutely
few
mental.
hours.
And talk about mental. How about the United Autosport teammates? The 22 and the 2, Hanley there and Goldberg in the points. But those 2 cars getting together without penalty, just one of those racing deals. And you got to think in Atlanta, there's going to be some dramatic.